A Fox 17 update on the governor kidnapping plot. Today, in what will likely be the final trial in the matter, a northern Michigan jury delivering a not guilty verdict.
Fox 17's Sam Lanster has been following the case from the beginning. He has the latest from an emotional courtroom.
In the fall of 2020, weeks before the presidential election, federal court documents claimed 14 men had hatched a plan to kidnap and kill Michigan's governor. They were frustrated, allegedly over pandemic-related precautions. Now, nearly 3 years later, the pandemic has passed, and the final trial in the plot is over.
What is your verdict? Not guilty.
A sigh of relief. Two brothers and another man cleared of all charges.
Providing material support for an act of terrorism. What is your verdict? Not guilty.
Eric Molitor and William and Michael Knoll charged with providing material support for a terrorist act and possessing a gun while doing so.
Terrorist attacks and mass shootings, they don't happen in a vacuum.
In a 2-week trial, prosecutors painted the men as homegrown extremists who hated their government.
The bits and pieces of information that people knew about but didn't put together in time to stop it.
The three accused of taking part in drills and driving to Whitmer's vacation home, not far from the Antrim County courtroom. But Molitor and William Knoll testified in their own defense. They admitted to participation, but claimed to have backed out when talk turned to explosives as part of a plan to blow up a bridge and then get away with the governor. William said he should have called police.
What is your verdict? Not guilty.
In the end, a trio of acquittals. In response to the verdict, the Chief of Staff for Governor Whitmer released a statement saying in part, "Today's verdict is disappointing. A not guilty verdict on the plot to kidnap and kill Governor Whitmer in hopes of starting a civil war will further encourage and embolden radical extremists trying to sow discord and harm public officials or law enforcement." In total, 8 men were charged at a state level, 5 found guilty, 3 not guilty. In federal court, 2 pled guilty, 2 were acquitted, and 2 others are appealing their guilty verdicts. In the control room, Sam Lancer, Fox 17 News.